So, welcome to Beer Bubbles, the bubbliest podcast in the world. I'm CC, and I'm sitting here with Kloris Devillé
Hello.
from Den Herberg.
Yes, that's right.
First time I tried your beers, it was actually the first edition of your Goes, and I was blown away by how clean it is. It is, in my opinion, a more modern style of Goes than some of the more, in exclamation marks, dirty lambics. But tell me about you and tell me about the brewery, because this is interesting.
Thanks for the nice introduction. So we started at home brewing. I think must have been now 30 years ago. And then quite organically we started, not only me but also my brother and sisters. We started into this brewing process quite naturally. So in the beginning, as most of the microbreweries, we started brewing in the kitchen. And then something completely different. I went to conservatory, classical.
You're a classical pianist?
Yeah, but in a previous life, I try to sometimes touch the piano once in a while, but as always, not often enough. But so after that, for earning some money, I said, yeah, why not brewing beer? It's also nice. So I did some courses for the brewing and distilling, and then I started working directly into our family brewery. So at that time it was 2000. So the brewery started officially in 2007 in Halle, which is just 20 kilometers under Brussels, so right in the Pajottenland. And so we started out with the classical idea for top fermented beers like the blonde, wheat beer, triple beer, and so on. And then in 2012 we already made a mixed fermentation, and we saw that quite as the bridge between top fermented and also adding spontaneous to the brewery.
Was that the Cuvée de Ville?
Yeah, that's the Cuvée de Ville. And why this bridge? Yeah, for first we need time, space, and money. You need to brighten the barrels. You need to be able to have a warehouse to mature the lambic. And also the Cuvée was a nice try and exercise to see if we can manage these wild ferments in our brewery, because it can spoil your top fermented beers. So it was a good exercise, and it worked out. So in, I think, December 2016, we started our first lambic brew. And since it was new for us too, we just started out with some new French oak barrels, some new American oak barrels, different sizes. So we started straight away with 225, which is the classical wine barrel. So we also had some ex-red wine, some ex-white wine from different regions. So we could see how our lambics evolved on different barrels. And for sure, we experimented a little bit also with the brews, but as we want to do the traditional way, and we also wanted to bring out another Goes, which we did in I think in July 2020. We sold our first bottle. Therefore, it's protected by European law, and therefore we need to follow a certain amount of rules. So using between 30 and 40% of non-malted wheat, pouring after the boil to a cool ship, and then let it ferment and mature on oaken barrels. So we wanted to do it the right and the traditional way, and I think, and I take it as a compliment that we managed to produce a nice lambic and Goes.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic. If you haven't tried, guys, do. We have it at Akkurat. It's a really nice. I'm really interested in seeing how it's going to mature, since we don't have that many old ones yet. But it's going to be really fun to see how they mature down in our basement here.
Indeed, and that's also the same exercise what we did, not only how it matured in bottle, but also in the barrel itself. And that's why for the second time we attended to the Tour de Goes, it was last year, we brought out a Goes with our first 4 brewing seasons. So it means when we bottled it, it was lambic from 7, 6, 5, and 4 years old that we poured on, that we blended made a nice product out of it. And it's for sure it's a little more acidic, but the taste is way more pronounced than the other one. Also
more complex as well.
Yeah, in a certain way, more woody. Yeah, a little bit more Madeira. So, in my opinion, with a huge cellar
Possibility
to age. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. Tour de Gueuse, second year you attended last time.
Yeah, second time.
How do you see the lambic trend? I know how it is here. It goes up and down. But in Belgium, is it still going strong? Or because I knew it was really in decline in like the late 90s.
Yeah, it was. Although I was still kids back then, but once in a while we tasted it. And even though we didn't start out with the lambic brews at first, so in 2007 it was only the top fermented beers. But right at the time, we also, so the brewery is just next to our tap room. And for supporting this style, which we love because we are born and raised, my father too, in this region. So it was the habit to drink lambic and Gueuse and Kriek. So we wanted to support this style. And so that's also the reason still today we have all our colleagues in our fridge in the tap room. So we can taste all the different lambics and Gueuses next to each other, which was nice back then and which is still now. And maybe it's right that in 2007, 2008, it was maybe a little bit more the elderly, older people that drank their regular Gueuse and the same. They were, I would say, maybe a little bit more attached to their brand.
Yeah.
So the guy who always drink a Hanses, he will always drink a Hanses.
The one who drinks a Jeddah always drinks a Jeddah.
Most of the time. And then I think we saw a shift a little bit, and still today. So now I think the whole cafe is drinking Gueuse. I mean, from 16-year-old to 60 or 90-year-old, people in group, people alone. So I think the interest in Gueuse and lambic, and maybe it's also due to thanks to the Gueuse, is appreciated not only internationally but certainly locally also. So people who come and visit our region, maybe by bike 30, 40 kilometers, they appreciate some nice Gueuse. Because
I've noticed that just the last 10 years, there's been a few new ones. It's not just the old dragons there anymore. It's Lambic Fabrik, it's Kestemont. There's quite a few that are well, they've been around for a few years now, but they're still quite new in this. I think in the perspective of things.
Yeah, sure, and I think it's a little bit going also, or was going also with the hype of starting up a microbrewery. And then if you're in our region, why not starting with Gueuse? And most of them, I think of the new ones, they started as a lambic, not a lambic brewer, but a Gueuse blender.
Yeah.
Sorry. Which is quite logic. You can buy lambic from brewer A and B and C, and then you have a nice library when it comes to blending. Yeah. And it was also a discussion in our brewery. So what will we do? Will we brew 100% ourselves, or will we do a mixture, or will we buy? But at the end, we saw that our lambics were evolving quite nicely, and then we said, okay, let's try just. In the beginning, a known blend, 100%, and it worked out well. So we just continued this way.
Have you got any separation in your brewery between, like, the clean side and the dirty side?
Yeah. So the warehouse, we started out with a small room, which is a separate room, but in the same building. But for now, all our lambics are stored 3 kilometers from the brew house. Just because we had the chance to have a warehouse there, and so I think 90-95% of our lambic is maturing. So in a separate warehouse.
Because if you get Brett into your clean system, you are.
But at the other hand, Brett is also yeast. So if you're hygienic, I think, and I mean the cuvée we are still brewing at our brewery. So it's a nice test for yourself to see if you're working nicely.
If you're working cleanly.
Yeah, hygienically. So, but this procedure is still okay. And we manage that too.
So,
And what I wanted to say also for these new breweries, it was also nice to see that for these new blenders that our lambic was also appreciated by them. So still today it's not the big amounts, but it's nice, and we take it as, I think the biggest compliment is that our colleagues are buying some worth of our brewery, of our coolship, and then for me it means a lot.
no, but that's really cool. You're in Sweden, and I think the main reason is because it's Acra's 30th anniversary.
For sure.
And you were here yesterday and had a tasting. How was that?
Yeah.
To be down here in the basement and do a tasting, surrounded by, Cantillons from 01 and
the cellar is
from
the cellar is
2.
impressive. I must admit, and I have to say that enthusiastic Swedish are enthusiastic beer tasters and drinkers too. But we started with tasting yesterday, and it ended quite late. It was very nice, and it's nice to see that this typical style of beers, it's not only appreciated at our place around 500 meters around our church, but there is also interest in the rest of the world. And so, thank you for this this opportunity. It was also a very nice project. So I think.
Well, you made a special beer.
Yeah, sure. At the demand of Accurat, and I think it was nice. Why? Because we still today we do not do that many fruit blends. So it was not new and new. We already did some cherry blendings, but like you mentioned, Lambic Fabrique, for instance, they do 8 or Tilquin, they do 8 or 9 different kinds of fruit macerations. So for us, this was quite new, but I think we made a nice jewel out of it.
Well, I tried it the other day. Before, it's actually released today on tap.
It is, and yesterday
and it's cloudberries.
Yeah.
So you have something to live up to, because the Soleil de Minuit is kind of an iconic beer. People still call us and say, "Do you have any left?" And we're out.
Still yesterday were already some people. Can we buy a bottle? But so guys, if you want to taste it, just come to
Accurat. Now I can testify to it. It's a fantastic beer. And I would not guess that it's not something you do often when you do with fruit macerations, because this was a fantastic balance in it.
I think our lambic sales is quite regionally, so it was an honor for us to do this, and for sure we wanted to be everything right and perfect. So. The hardest job for me was to select the nice lambic. So I tasted some barrels, and I said it yesterday too. We like to let people know the base product. So the lambic, which is flat, and some people are surprised. It's a beer, but there is no foam in it. There's no sparkle. So a lambic is flat because it's coming from the wooden barrels.
Yeah,
it's
wooden
not
barrels can take gas.
Yeah. They breathe, which is thanks to this we have this aging and maturation process of the lambic. But again, when you taste this, I call it's a nude product, so you can't hide anything.
No.
So when you let the people know the pure thing, the basis of the goose, you need to have a nice and a good one.
Yeah.
So. In a goose, maybe it's not the right thing to say, but maybe if you have a middle one or just below the middle, in the huge amount of the blending, it goes away.
Yeah.
But here, if you taste it pure, you have to take your best one, and that's what we did with, for the berries too.
We appreciate it very much. And tomorrow, one of the big names when it comes to fruit blends comes here. Pierre Tilquin. He doesn't often leave his brewery.
No,
we're really happy he's coming as well.
Yeah.
But is that someone you've looked to as well and tried their stuff to find your way?
He was also one of the not the newest one of 2 years ago, but one of the later ones. And so it was nice to see that it's possible that not only the old one survives. So maybe in that way it was a kind of inspiration. But as I said, he started brewing since 3 years ago, I think, but he still buys some lambic. So in that way, it's still a little bit different. But yeah, he does a lot of fruit macerations and also different blends with different amount of 2 years, 3 years with his heritage series. But it's true that Pierre makes fantastic beers and nice gueuses.
He's
Once in a while, I enjoy.
Is fantastic.
His beers
one
too.
of my favorites. I'm not going to keep you very long. We're going to wrap it up. But I've got one question for you, and it's probably the meanest question in the world to someone who loves beer. Because this is all about you're actually not going to survive the day. You're going to die today. The Grim Reaper is coming to collect. And you get to have one more beer.
Yeah.
In production, out of production, doesn't matter. He will provide you with the beer. But if you get one more beer before it's time to say goodbye, what beer would that be?
I know the answer to this one. Usually I say it's difficult because depends on the time and the season and what and in what company you are in. But if I really have to choose one, for me it's the classic Oude Geuze, and then why not our brand for sure. But I have to say something about this because it's not maybe it's a little bit chauvinistic, and so why not? But I have the honor at our brewery to make the blends. So for me, it's according to my taste. So it's an enormous privilege as your own. If you have your own lambics and your own library of barrels, then we can say, okay, this barrel can still age some months more, or this we need to take for this blend now. So for me, that's every time I try our own Geuze, it's nice because I've made it myself. So it's quite logic that I like this beer. So yeah, if I have to choose one, the classic Oude Geuze.
Yeah. But I've got a question more, but I just thought of it now. Do you have a favorite barrel at your brewery? Because I asked Jim, I think he's called, who runs the barrel works at Firestone Walker in California. And he said, well, don't quote me on this, but of course I do. But I tried to blend in that with everything else. So everything is good.
I am following him a little bit, but maybe not one barrel in particular, but for me, what I like really a lot is one of the first series of barrels that we bought. It was from Alsace region. And it was an ex-white wine barrel, French oak, the 500 liters. And the bigger the barrel, the less contact surface you have with the wood. So it's also plays on how fast it matures, the lambic.
So it's a slow barrel.
It's a little bit slower than a 225. But at the other hand, we are just taking into use some foeders. Which so for the foeders I cannot speak because it's too early. But so the first series of barrels where we worked with, definitely the extra white wine barrel.
Kloris, thank you very much for taking your time out to do this.
Thank you for having me.
And have a great night tonight.
If we spend it together, it will be no problem.
You're probably going to sit here and drink the beers that Water Night comes with as well. So
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Absolute pleasure.
Thank
Thank you. And guys, whatever you do out there, drink better beer.
Don't listen to anyone who says that Ölpodden is away. We are here to stay. As